Some bands break up slowly. They drift apart. They stop returning calls. They take a break that quietly becomes permanent. And then there are bands that end in a single night. One studio session, one argument, one moment where years of tension finally snap. And a band that defined an era collapses in real time. Tonight, we're talking about one of the clearest examples in rock history of a band ending inside the studio. Not on stage, not on tour, and not in the press. This is the story of how Creedence Clearwater Revival came apart. Not because they ran out of hits, but because they ran out of trust. Some of the greatest songs in rock history weren't just written. They were fought over, argued about, hidden, denied, and sometimes paid for with careers, friendships, and marriages. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on one of those moments. By the end of the 1960s, Creedence Clearwater Revival were unstoppable. In just a few short years, they had stacked hit after hit. Songs that sounded timeless the moment they were released. They weren't flashy. They weren't psychedelic. They didn't lean on extended solos or studio tricks. They just wrote great songs, and John Fogerty wrote most of them. That fact mattered more than anyone realized at the time. John Fogerty wasn't just the lead singer. He was the primary songwriter, the lead guitarist, the producer, and the creative engine behind CCR's sound. While the rest of the band contributed, the direction of the music almost always flowed through him. At first, that worked. Success covers a lot of cracks. But over time, resentment began to build. The other members, Tom Fogerty, Stu Cook, and Doug Clifford, started to feel less like a band and more like backing musicians in someone else's vision. They wanted more say, more credit, more creative input. John Fogerty, meanwhile, felt the pressure of carrying the band on his shoulders. He believed the quality of the music depended on maintaining control. In his mind, loosening the reins meant risking everything they had built. Those two positions were never going to coexist peacefully. By the time CCR entered the studio to record what would become their final album, Mardi Gras, the band was already fractured. Communication was strained. Trust was thin. Everyone knew something had to change. They just didn't agree on what. This time, the others pushed back. They demanded equal creative control, equal songwriting opportunities, equal space on the record. John Fogerty resisted, and then, exhausted and fed up, he made a decision that would effectively end the band. He stepped back, not entirely, but enough. For the first time, he allowed the other members to write and sing lead vocals on their own songs. On paper, it sounded like compromise. In reality, it was surrender mixed with bitterness. The studio sessions were tense from the start. The chemistry that once felt effortless was gone. Songs were brought in that didn't fit the CCR sound audiences knew. Takes were recorded without enthusiasm. Arguments simmered just beneath the surface. And then it boiled over. During one particularly strained session, frustration erupted into open confrontation. Accusations flew. Years of resentment spilled out all at once. The argument wasn't just about music. It was about respect, about ownership, about who was Creedence Clearwater Revival. John Fogerty accused the others of not pulling their weight creatively in the past. The others accused him of control, arrogance, and shutting them out. And then came the breaking point. John Fogerty, visibly angry, exhausted, and finished, stopped the session and made it clear he was done fighting. Not just with the song, with the band itself. That moment didn't involve a dramatic walkout or a public meltdown. It was worse. It was final. The session ended early. Instruments were put away. No one tried to smooth things over. No one joked. No one lingered. They left the studio knowing something essential had broken. Mardi Gras was eventually completed and released, but everyone involved knew it wasn't the same band anymore. Critics were brutal. Fans were confused. The magic was gone, and not long after, Creedence Clearwater Revival officially disbanded. What makes this story especially tragic is how unnecessary it feels in hindsight. CCR were still popular, still relevant, still capable of dominating the charts, but the internal damage was too deep. The studio fight didn't just end a recording session, it ended collaboration. It ended trust. It ended a band that had defined American rock in less than 5 years. In the years that followed, the fallout continued. Legal battles, family estrangement, decades of silence between former bandmates. The music lived on. The band did not. And that's the quiet truth behind so many legendary breakups. They don't end with fireworks. They end with exhaustion, with one moment where everyone realizes there's no way back. These stories didn't just create great music, they changed lives, ended bands, and rewrote rock history. If you want more untold stories from the golden age of music, make sure you're subscribed. And continue this playlist to see what almost happened next. And as always, keep that turntable spinning.